So this graphic organizer is basically for students to organize their notes. So what I do is with my AP kids or with my pre-calculus students, I have them work on this one, where we go over like some of the problems like I do, and then we do as a class, and then they have some problems which they do. So basically what happens is I'm doing the three pieces of it: direct instruction, guided practice, and independent practice. So over here, if you can see, we do the concept. So this is like my main concept over here, and it also gives them an idea as to what the topic is going to be about. So talking about the learning objective, this is going to be your learning objectives. So students can see what their learning objective for the day is, then they start working on the problems like that. So we go in an order, and when they go home, when they try to do their homework, at that time they have something to refer back to.
Okay. And do you just update the equations in the problem each day? Do you change the equations how do you change the content for the next lesson?
This is because I make the, like a unit packet. So students get a unit packet where they're going to use it for like a whole unit of the lesson.
Okay.
So it's not only for one section of the lesson, it is for the whole unit.
Okay.
So I give them the whole unit packet at the beginning of unit, and then every day they're using the same packet but with different problems on it.
Okay. So 1 week we might do the first section, and the next week we do the next, and by the end of the unit, the whole page will be filled out.
Absolutely.
And they have that as a reference. Okay. And why are some reasons that you started using this in your class?
Because in the beginning, when I started teaching calculus, that's where I started off with. Students didn't know how to organize their notes. If I asked for their notes, they didn't know where they were. So with this packet, what happens is now they know, okay, this is the whole unit, and they don't take it as a chunk, like derivatives. If I'm doing derivatives, they know that this is the whole unit. It's not a small piece like one section. So they see the whole unit as together. So initially what happened is when the students were not given this kind of graphic organizer, they had their information all scattered around. They didn't know which piece belonged to which one. So right now, because of these unit packets, what happens is they know, okay, this whole unit goes together. So at the end, like in my classes, what happens is I do regular quizzes, and then we do a big test based on the whole unit. So if they ask me, okay, what is going to be on the unit test, that whole packet is going to be on the unit test, and they know what to study for.
In order to have good lesson preparation, planning must produce lessons that enable students to make connections between their own knowledge and experiences and new information being taught. Well-planned lessons include content area objectives as well as language objectives. Concepts must be appropriate for the age and educational level of the student. The teacher and student should use supplementary materials such as graphic organizers. Teach your students to use graphic organizers such as webs, Venn diagrams, and charts to help them better comprehend these texts. These are visual tools that help ELLs understand and organize information. They're like mind maps, which promote active learning. Graphic organizers can also help students develop higher level thinking skills and promote creativity. One of our goals in teaching our English language learners is to help them summarize and interpret text. Graphic organizers are an excellent tool in achieving this goal. When teachers begin to use graphic organizers, they need to follow some simple steps to make sure ELLs gain knowledge from this simple yet reliable tool. Teachers should begin to verbalize the relationship between the ideas and the information that will be taught. Teachers also need to provide the opportunity for students to participate in discussions. Once students have had the opportunity to share their thoughts and understand the topic that is to follow, teachers can start to connect new material to their prior knowledge. Graphic organizers facilitate ELL's comprehension through visual illustrations of key terms, vocabulary, ideas, and the relationships among them.